Fuck validation. If you want to get clients in 2025, this is how you should show up in your marketing, in your sales, in your business in general. Look, I just wrapped up an event that I was at in Mexico where I got to do something that still blows my mind. I got to teach a session to a group of amazing entrepreneurs. I mean, these are some of the top 1% entrepreneurs, people that are doing multiple six, seven, and even eight figures in their business. And I was also taught by some of the most brilliant entrepreneurs that I've ever been around. And as I was walking the beach before heading to the airport, we're out there right off of the Caribbean. Like something hit me like a freaking freight train, man. The most powerful thing that we could do in our business isn't necessarily strategy. It's not tactics, and it's not even like content hacks or whatever. It's authenticity. And I know be authentic is thrown around everywhere, right? People are like, you gotta be authentic. But what the heck does that actually mean? That was a question that I posed. And so let me break it down the way it came through for me after this trip. Because being surrounded by a lot of these top 1% entrepreneurs, I found that like most of us were in agreement on this. And this is what you see now. This is what you see the people that you might admire or look up to or model. This is what they are doing. And so number one, know your deeper why. Know your deeper why. You can call this your North Star. And I know many people are like, yeah, I know it, but I'm not talking about the surface level stuff. Like, I help people do X for Y. I mean your real why, the deeper purpose, the one that sits in your soul. For example, mine is I want to help prolonged human suffering. Like I believe all of us as humans need to suffer just a little bit because we learn through pain, right? We learn through suffering. But you know what I mean? The people that are suffering for weeks, months, years, decades, that's a problem. Because I believe that coaches like you and me carry stories, we carry messages, and we carry perspectives and wisdom that can literally shift someone's entire belief system. And that's stuff that doesn't just build your business, it changes freaking lives, man. It creates movements. So that's why I show up. That's why I help coaches get clients because there's a deeper reason for it. So what's your deeper why? Take some time to like really process this. What's that deeper mission, that deeper vision that you have? Number two, stand on your convictions. What do you believe so deeply that you would be willing to put a stake in the ground for? Here's one of mine, going right off of this example that I'm sharing. So coaches shouldn't have to sell their souls to get clients, period. They shouldn't have to do pushy sales. They shouldn't have to work 16-hour days and hustle and grind. They don't have to do sleazy marketing templates or cringy scripts or any of these fake urgency and scarcity. I truly don't believe that. Instead, I believe that if you learn how to communicate your message in a way that attracts people, people want to buy from someone who's already aligned. People want to buy from someone that is deeply passionate at what they do and that has learned how to communicate it in a way that people are like, yes, they feel compelled to take action. And so, what is that for you? Like, what are those deeply held convictions, those beliefs? And I don't mean frustrations. I don't mean freaking things that you complain about or pet peeves or any of that. I mean, like, your deeply held convictions. And if you're aligning this, like, it should align with your North Star. It should align with, like, what you actually deeply care about and change you want to make in the world. And number three, share your big idea or big ideas. This is the bridge between your why and your what. This is the bridge between your deeper purpose and your beliefs. You might hear this talked about like unique mechanisms or solutions or things like that. I think it's bigger than that, pun intended. For example, one of my big ideas is that your message is the 5% that creates 95% of your results in whether you're running ads, you're doing organic content, you're writing emails, you're speaking at events, you're networking and community. Anytime that you are putting words out of your mouth to other people, I believe that matters the most. It produces 95% of the lead gen results that you get. That belief for me drives everything that I teach inside of my offer, right? We have a mechanism for it, the magic messaging makeover that I walk people through. And honestly, it's changed the game for both me and my clients being able to implement this. So if you think about it, what are your big ideas? And one more example on this to give you a clear visual, if you will. So if you could like visualize this, In health and fitness, when I was running my fitness program, most of my clients believed that they just needed to eat healthier, that if they just cut out their calories, they would all of a sudden start to lose belly fat. And for context, most people that came to me wanted to lose belly fat, like that stubborn fat that they had. They weren't looking to lose 80 pounds. They were just trying to get rid of that stubborn fat. And so for me, I was like, yeah, it's not about just eating healthy, because most people were eating like freaking 600 calories. I was like, it's about eating right. And it was a big idea that I brought to them. And then I had mechanisms around that. I had a flexible dieting kind of structure that I walked people through to show them how to eat right, the right amount of proportions and calories and yada yada, right? And so you have that big idea. It's almost framed as like a belief that you're bringing into the marketplace. Maybe you're discrediting or dismantling a belief or objection that they already have, and you're bringing what you know to be true. And then you would have a mechanism that you're teaching, right? So what is your big idea, and what is your mechanism for it? So the big idea is like the belief that you're bringing into the market, and the mechanism is how you help people actually get it. Make sense? And number 4 is apply it, everything we just talked about, through your zone of genius. And so if you're following along at home right now, you could see that once you're really clear on that, like that North Star, the deeper reason, and you're clear on what your deeply held convictions and beliefs are, and you know what your big idea is, right? That new belief that you want to bring into the market, and you have a mechanism to where you can help people apply it. Now, that all should align, right? Like if you look at mine, I have the messaging is the 5%. I have the magic messaging makeover as like how I help people do that. And then if you look at my convictions, I believe in more attraction-based marketing, which comes from messaging. And I believe people need to get their messages and their stories out to people. So everything that I'm talking about is deeply authentic to me, right? That's how it works. And people can feel that through the marketing. And so now for you to apply this stuff into your business, like look at it. What is your current, like, what do you feel your zone of genius is? What do you feel the least resistance by? Is it writing? Is it speaking? Maybe doing videos or emails? Where are you naturally strong? Like you want to start there. So for example, I love to speak, right? And so like if I do videos and I go to speaking events, I freaking crush. I have a client, Patty. She's pretty good at videos, but Patty loves to write. She just says she writes every day. She loves it. And so for her, like writing longer newsletters, writing emails, like that stuff really is powerful for her, because she's naturally good at it, and people could feel it because she gets passionate about doing it. One of my clients, Carlos, he likes to go to network, and he likes audio podcasts, right? It's really good. So he's over here booking podcast after podcast after podcast. And guess what? It's helping him grow. He's getting more confident. He's getting leads. He's getting clients. And so you got to find like, what are you naturally good at? And by the way, that's not to say that you shouldn't freaking learn what you suck at. So if you're like, I'm terrible at videos, well, you don't start there, right? You start with what you feel more comfortable with, and then you build the confidence, and then you learn the skills so you can apply it everywhere. But you want to start where you're naturally good, right? Then you use that platform to share your story, to share your wisdom, to share your message, to basically magnetize your people. Because when your deeper why and your big idea flow through your gifts, that's when things start to take off. And I want to give you this second takeaway, and we'll kind of recap this. So the second biggest takeaway I want to leave you with is stop seeking validation. And yes, I said it, because like, look, I'm going to be just completely transparent here. After I spoke at the event, I caught myself asking people, or I asked Dan, who ran the event, Dan Bolton, I said, hey man, did I do a good job? Like, was that valuable enough? And I could tell he didn't really want to give me the feedback. He was like, dude, you were freaking really good, man. Like that was like his vibe. But I realized like I was still chasing approval. And so I see a lot, I tend to still do this like on social media. Like I'll post a video or post content, and I'm like, did people watch it? Did people like it? Or I get done with a masterclass and I'm like, what's that? Like, I don't know if that was good, right? I do that with clients. And so I want you to look at like, are you still seeking approval? Or if you post something, does it affect your emotions, right? Does it affect your emotions and how you show up if it doesn't get likes, or if it doesn't get comments, or if it doesn't do well, right? If you put out a promotion and it doesn't do well, does it affect you? And so there's a big difference, by the way, between wanting to improve and needing validation. So I think all of us should strive to improve, but if we're seeking validation, it's dangerous. It's a very dangerous place to play. And I'm telling you right now, like I'm committed and I'm done with it. Like personally, I'm done. And I think it's a process for all of us. But the way I look at it, the best musicians, the best artists, the best creators in the world, they just are passionate about expressing who they are, right? About putting out like what is is meaningful for them in a way that is also useful for other people. You know what I'm saying? And so if you think about it through this lens, if you fall in love with the process, if you just allow your message to shine through, because your message is the weapon that the weapon of influence that helps people be able to reach out to you, right? It connects with people on a subconscious level when you have your messaging right. It captivates people because you're speaking to them, and then it converts people when you have that unique positioning, the big ideas and stuff around it, right? Your story is your superpower. The story is truly the bridge to help people move from where they feel stuck in the problem and the pain to the desire and aspiration. So your story, client stories, that is a superpower. In your unique perspectives is your wisdom. That's the differentiator. And so when you are speaking that stuff, when you're putting that stuff out there, like you don't need to be validated. It's you. It's your natural expression of the experiences that you currently have. And so if you could do that, there's like a quote by a late pastor named John Wesley who says, if you light yourself on fire with passion, people will come from miles to watch you burn. And so if you show up with passion, and yes, of course you want to improve on skills, right? If you're writing or speaking, of course you want to get better at writing hooks or telling stories or communicating call to actions. That's only going to help your authentic self get better, right? You're just going to convert better, but not needing validation, right? So if you're looking at your content, if it's dictating how you feel, if a client messages you, it dictates how you feel, then at least in my opinion, you need some work because this game will tear you down. This game of coaching and entrepreneurship will completely tear you down if you can't kill the ego here and need that external validation and instead just show up, do your best, get better, but allow your marketing, allow your content to be a natural expression of you that also helps become useful and tangible for other people. So I want to create from a place of joy, from a place of service, from a place of alignment, not from a place of, am I enough, right? That's not a good place to be in. So here's what I want to leave you with today. A little bit of a checklist. So get clear on your deeper why. Stand firm in your convictions. Share your big ideas, your unique ideas, and build from your zone of genius. Start there. And for the love of God, for the love of all things holy, stop chasing approval. Because when you could do that, my friend, you don't just build a business, you build a freaking movement. So let's go get out there and do it. And if you found this video helpful, make sure to click subscribe so you get more of these videos to just pop up in your newsfeed. And if you have any questions or any insights or ahas, leave a comment down below. I would love to know. And remember, your message matters now more than it ever has before. Don't be afraid to speak it. Be seen, be heard, and be impactful.